If you're tired of hearing the right is crazy when it's the left gunning people down. If you've grown weary of hearing white folks are bad and they're abusing the blacks and browns. If you're tired of listening to the media lies, it's time to wake up, patriot, and open others' eyes. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hop the phone crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. If it makes you mad, they'd like to stop the steal, where Republicans are the majority, but still they fail. Then might I suggest you get off your duff and put an end to this leftist stuff. 'Cause they're only winning when we have no voice. It's time to rise up and make some noise. We need an FBI that can be trusted. It's time the whole Obama crowd all gets busted. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hop the phone crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. Trixie, Sean, and Mark on Wake Up Patriots or Patriots After Dark. While you're listening there, you will have some fun, but you'll also learn how to get it done. Just read the comments, meet some friends, 'cause we've got a battle going on. Wake up, patriots, and grab your gun. Let's stand our ground, let's have some fun. It's time to remove the crazies, hop the phone crack. It's time to all stand up and take our nation back. Don't just stand there and watch the nation tumble. Go to Wake Up Patriots, it's there on Rumble, and maybe toss some change in the cup. And don't forget to give a big thumbs
up for Wake Up Patriots.
So yeah, wake up, patriots, and get her done. Do it for your daughter, do it for your son. It's for our kids, we must turn things back. It's time for action and not just smack.
Happy Thursday. Hello, George.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes. Everybody's here. Hello, good morning, joining us. And see, Mo just told me Mike's going to do something with Roger Clements. That's where he's going, because he didn't tell me where he's going. He just said he was getting on a plane and going somewhere.
Most likely, yeah, because he said he was going to meet Roger Clements.
Yeah.
He did say.
I know. I missed the show yesterday, so I didn't know. So and now we know where he's going. He's going to do something with Roger Clements, and Maureen is jealous. So if you guys noticed, I did the clown world with the monkeys flinging poo. That's the chimps are the DSA, and the clowns are the Democrats, and that's why Trump is laughing.
We got a video of the I can't believe he said the word, but Mark Robertson.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
We're all here. Let's see. Let's start out with the Bible verse for the bulletin. Ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand. I will not be shaken. And that's Psalm 16:8. So, amen. And let's rip out the pledge. Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There we go. Now we're ready to rock and roll. So, lots of stuff going on. That, what's that chick's name? The the DSA one that won in Florida. What?
Nixon.
Oh, Nixon. Not a good Nixon, but a bad Nixon.
Yeah, like what's her problem? You think she's like kind of crazy?
Yeah,
she's gonna give them free health care. She wants to give everybody babysitting and everybody gonna get a phone and everybody gonna get free Medicare, free food, free.
Is she?
What did I tell you yesterday? I was going to get you a megaphone so you could imitate her on the show.
But didn't she have like? Well, I mean, here's the thing. Again, here's a primary, right? That she won against Vindman, right? The scumbag Vindman.
Yeah,
But Vindman, the Democrats gave him like, I don't know, $16 million or something like that. He raised, right? Mm-hmm. And she raised under $1 million.
Yeah.
And, well, that shows you.
Won. So hang on for a second. This is not in New York, right? This isn't in New York. This is in Florida. What area of Florida was this in?
Well, she's running for the Senate. She's running against Ashley Moody.
Congress,
what?
Not Senate. She wasn't running for Senate. She ran for Congress, wasn't she?
No, I got Senate. I don't know.
Is it Congress or Senate? I thought it was Congress. Maybe it is Senate. If it's Senate,
they said she's running against Ashley Moody, so I think that's who it was.
Let's see.
She was going against Vindman, and then she's going to run against Moody. And then yesterday she said, Ashley Moody, you will be calling me your senator. She was really cocky.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, she's running for Senate.
She's a new Crockett.
So, but think about that. That's scary. Okay, that's even worse than a Congress, because Congress is a tight district, right? Statewide, the Democrats in Florida elected somebody like this, a DSA, right? DSA type person to run for Senate of Florida. That's scary. It's not New York. Mm-hmm. It's Florida.
Well, I think they just, what do you call it? You got a lot of young college kids in there, so they all went to vote. College started early.
You could say, I'm just telling you, that's scary. It's not New York. Like these type of people, they were saying, "Oh, it's only in New York." It's just.
Well, there weren't that many people went out and vote. Yeah, but there weren't that many people went out and vote either. Not that many Democrats. I was looking at the numbers. It was very, very low output. So
yeah,
it
was low output.
Yeah, but I think it's because the Democrats are pissed about all the socialist shit. They're going to see a lot of Democrats are going to vote for Republican. I believe that.
Well, that's crazy. I guess, yeah, like R.D. Bull said, apparently Democrats in Florida would rather have a crazy than a traitor. And that's true. I mean, Vindman is a traitor, but here's the thing. I got to push back on what R.D. Bull said. A lot of Democrats don't realize Vindman was a traitor. Vindman went against Trump with the lies, and they kind of think he's a hero. That's the other thing. I mean, Vindman probably got hero status with most of the Democrats.
He should have been court-martialed. He wasn't supposed to wear his uniform during the hearing.
Yeah. But think about
that.
But think about what I just said. You got a guy that tried to take out Trump, right, with bullshit for the impeachment. Okay. To most Democrats, he shouldn't be a traitor. He should be a hero. That's what I'm trying to say. He should have notoriety status with the Democrats.
Well, like I said, I think a lot of people in Florida are pissed off the way the Democrat Party's going. There's a lot of stuff talked about down here. And everybody's pissed off with everything else. Everybody's worried about everything else except for the again. So
you know what's the
illegals all. Oh, the other thing she said, I'm going to give every legal citizenship. And she said that too.
Well, in New Jersey, that would be good. She would get votes off of that because illegals could vote in New Jersey, even though they say they can't. Florida, I don't think illegals are voting in Florida, right? I think you guys got that pretty well buttoned up.
True.
Right? You know, did you see what Pratt came out and said about how quickly the primary got counted in Florida?
Hold on, you got a timer.
What happened?
I don't know.
I just wanted to make a remark about Vindman before we switch subjects.
okay.
Did anybody see the rabbit hole about him being Carlos the Jackal's son,
No.
Vindman? Remember Carlos the Jackal, the assassin back in the 70s and 80s? All right, there's a whole thread going on about Vindman being from, coming from a foreign country, and they put a picture of Carlos the Jackal, the original guy, up against Vindman, and the age of Vindman works and everything with the Jackal being his dad. It's just a really crazy rabbit hole, and I just wanted to bring that up because I remember when all that was going on, and with the timeline lining up, and him looking just like Carlos the Jackal, and Carlos the Jackal had plastic surgery and everything. So I don't know. Red said she knew a lot about Carlos, but never heard that. I never heard that one either, but I just saw it a couple days ago.
He was supposed to go to the Ukraine army.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Carlos the Jackal or Vindman, George?
No, Vindman. To run the army.
I think it was Carlos the Jackal. Yeah, maybe that's a good wormhole you could do.
Yeah, well, but I will never have no way of knowing or anything. I just thought I'd bring it up when we were talking about Vindman because you were saying traitor and everything like that, and it would make a lot of sense. I don't know.
Yep.
It was just kind of weird.
Well, that is, that's crazy. But all I'm saying is I can't believe he didn't win because he's got to be a hero to a lot of Democrats because of what he did against Trump, right? He may be he may not be of use any longer, but just like Democrats are trying to protect Fauci. He's no use any longer, right? But they're still protecting him because they think he helped take out Trump's first term. But
there's even more coming out about Fauci yesterday about how he said "game on." How did it go? It was something about this. He wanted to go to Wuhan and emulate the Chinese or something, and there was a whole texts and emails that got released again where they said Fauci went game on, and it was like. So it looked like COVID was a psyop and COVID was really the flu, but I don't believe that because of what I saw, what was in the jab. So I don't believe that part of it. I think they might've took advantage of the flu and lumped it into, COVID. Everybody thinks that, but because there was no flu stats. Remember the flu cases that year just went and COVID was like the big thing.
So Jack's in the chat. Jack put, Sean, Florida's a red state. That's why I lost. Well, isn't your primaries a closed primary like we have in New Jersey?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, Democrats vote for Democrats. Republicans.
So that's why I don't understand why you didn't win because they were.
I think because the Democrats in Florida are so disgusted with, a lot of Democrats down here in Florida are the old time Democrats, and a lot of them are Jewish too. Besides, and I think they didn't want to. I don't think they came out to vote the way they want to vote. That the numbers were very low, so I think they voted for the low numbers were all the ones of the Antifa and all the other shit that's down here.
Well, anyway, did you see what Spencer Pratt came out with a comment about how quickly Florida's primary numbers were counted and handled versus California's?
Oh yeah, well,
anybody? Are you there? Hello, are you there?
Yes,
I was listening.
Hello. I just thought here. Me and the George Puppet will talk. So George Puppet, did you see how quick the primary results came back? Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how quick it was.
You gotta get a practical.
These guys on here. Oh, hey, Trixie, baby.
You got to cut that piece.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, but that's a battle score. That's a battle score, Trix.
You
don't cut a battle score off a guy like George.
You're gonna see Pratt run for big office or something.
What's that?
Pratt's gonna run for a big office, I think.
But he's right though. Look how quick Florida came back. I mean, it was
It's
what,
always like that. Always.
I know, within like 2 hours, and other states take over 2 weeks to come back.
All the
Well,
all the
California
counties
uses
in the
Common
states-
Core math.
What?
California
that-
uses Common Core math. That's why it takes so long.
But it's disgusting.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
supervisory of elections is a Republican, number one. I mean, they should crooked as whatever you think of, but you know, there was still cheating down here, so it didn't matter.
You think?
Oh yeah, in Florida, I
Well,
told
the
you.
hanging
I
chads
went-
are done with, right?
I
There's
went
no
to
more
the
hanging chads.
I went to the beautiful school of Dominion machines. How they count votes. I went to the school. I was there for 3 hours. For them to tell me how the machine works really good and doesn't cheat. But when you saw those ballots go to the bottom of the thing, that when they were voided because the 2 markings were done, or there was a marking wrong, or was it done? So the people are registered already, so they just got to fill it, put new ones in, and they're not going to call. I don't think anybody's ever been called about their ballots being wrong. You got to come in and put another ballot in. It's done. So they got control. Doesn't matter. Yeah, he could get a cabinet position. Maybe in charge of elections. I'm surprised Trump didn't start one of them.
Yeah. Trump had a pretty good message. You guys got to see this one.
So,
You see the gold, I see the sacrifice. Open the doors. SBK.
America will never fall to Islam.
I just want to say before that Trump video, I was going to say, I think it was Artie Bull and Red were talking about primary voters in the chat about independence, right? And they should be allowed to vote. I know in New Jersey, if you're an independent voter, you can go in and vote in the primary and say, I'm going to vote Republican or I'm going to vote Democrat. I don't know if other states are like that. George, I don't know if your state has that or not in Florida.
What's that? Sorry, I missed the question.
Yeah, I know. I'll tell George Puppet. Hang on. So George Puppet. Yeah.
What do you say?
So New Jersey, independents can vote in the primary. They would just have to declare if they're going to vote Democrat or Republican in the primary, and they give them a.
Oh, really?
If you're an independent, you come in and say, I want to vote on the Republican side. They give you a Republican, ballot. Or
They
Democrat ballot.
got cross-party lines then.
So, well, it's not across party lines because technically you're independent. You're not in a party. So, like me as a registered Republican, I can't go and vote for a Democrat.
Oh,
right. So it's
Ohio's like that. Yeah, Ohio.
So independents can vote. So Jack's saying no. So they can't do. You guys can't do that in Florida, but New Jersey can. I think that's a good thing for independents to do because, for the most part, they're going to kind of maybe vote for who they want to shape. That may be better for primaries to have. I don't know. I don't know what the argument is on that, but that may be better if independents could vote in a primary.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Yep, I agree.
I don't keep track. I can't keep track between the states who has open and who has closed.
No, my question was, do you think it's better that independents can vote in a primary like that? Just declare, like, I want to vote on the Democrat ballot or I want to vote on the Republican ballot.
Do I think that would be a good idea? I would say yes. And the whole thing is because, like, for instance, Florida, which the Republicans brag, there are 1.5 million more Republican registered voters than there are Democrats.
But there's so many independents.
Yeah, but they got there's 5,400,000 Republicans registered, and they got 4,000 Democrats registered, and then you have this other there's 465,000 called minor, which is a separate party. That means Constitutional Party, all those other parties, that's what they are. And then you got the MPAs, which is non-party affiliated. And they're the big number. If you add those,
that's the independents. That the MPA, a non-party affiliate, that's the independents. That's what they.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's what they register as. So what happens is that they are close to 4.1 million votes if you total them up. So I mean, they could swing the big vote in Florida. You know, if they
Yeah.
go out and come out and vote for Jolly, and everybody, because a lot of people say did not vote for Byron because he won and all that stuff and everything else. It's going to be a big problem. It's just I was writing something this morning and finish it, but it's
Monime says Georgia is closed. Red Ginger says open primaries turn. Oh, she says open. Now, Red Ginger says kind of against it. Red Ginger says open primaries turn California blue. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
well,
But Artie Bull says it's open in North Carolina.
It's 4 weeks or what do you call for them to count in California. Well, that total yet. I mean, how much can you count? I mean, you can. Let's see. Oh, let's look. That's what they do. All of a sudden, in the middle, like, what do you call it? Before the polls close and everything else, all of a sudden, oh, we just got 9 million ballots just came in just this minute, so we have to count them. It's amazing when the mail-in ballots come in. A lot of them they're not folded properly like they're supposed to be in an envelope.
So. Jack is telling you to read what he's. Oh, okay.
Jack says why I think no is that many Democrats would register independent so they could vote for a Bay Republican, and that's I agree with that, Jack. Yeah, you could. I mean, a lot of them would. They would get on their text chains and they would go out there and probably mass and do that. That's probably correct. That's why I wonder if it's a good idea or not, because I mean, in that type of stuff, it could screw things up. Is Augie saying yes or no?
I think he just doesn't like politics.
Augie's like, oh, politics. Augie wants to talk about something else.
Next door, and he keeps barking at him, so he'll stop. There was so much stuff going on with the DSA kind of stuff, though. That's the thing that gets me. You know, they say all the younger people are voting that way because they're still living at home with their parents, the ones under 30 and everything. But whose fault is that? It's not our fault. It was the Democrats, Biden under COVID, that raised all the housing costs and inflation and everything. It wasn't us. So that's why I don't understand why they think it's good to go on that side. I mean, they think they're going to get their rent paid and everything, but no, they're not. You know, I don't want to pay anybody else's rent. Why should we?
Well, if you vote for Nixon, you'll be getting everything free. You get free housing, you get free things, you get free.
Probably get free dog food for Augie.
Yeah.
Everything they say is free, though. Where the hell do they, if you stop and think about it, if they use their heads, where would all this stuff be coming from? It's the government is us funding the government.
We're going to tax the billionaires. We're going to tax the billionaires.
They think there's either a free tree or a free factory, one of the two. It just comes out of the free factory. No, just.
Oh, you heard them say that the collection they're doing in California, even what's his name, Conrad the Indian, turned around and said, since he's a millionaire, he just turned around and said that, we'll collect money from, 5% one-time deal or 10% one-time deal to all the billionaires, and we'll raise over $100 million so we could pay for the Medicare for everyone. Now that's the big problem is all the stuff with the Medicare and everything else, and the amount of people that are on it. Especially the illegals. I mean, we spoke about that yesterday. When they go to the hospital, they get $400 aspirins, and we have to pay the $400. They get it for free.
Yeah, so. We're paying the $400 because the other people get it for free. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. You ever get a line item bill from a hospital? Ask for one time. Just ask for a breakdown of your charges and look at what you're paying. It's absolutely insane. And it's all because of people with no insurance. So,
Yes, they are, what do you call it? Transferring a lot of illegals out of the country. They got a whole bunch of, someone put a statement in there. So Trying to tell them they're 100% right about that. In fact,
When
they
we-
increased it by another another two countries about them coming in. The problem is the biggest culprit is China. You know, they pay the colleges a lot of money to get their students here to override our own, our American-born kids here. China gives them billions of dollars to all the top colleges, and that's why they take them first. So what
You-
they should
you want-
do is tax the endowment. What? Sorry.
Yeah, taxing. I agree with the taxing the endowment. Have you seen what students are like now, and why you wouldn't want to be a teacher? I'm just bringing it up because you brought up students.
Oh, I thought you had a video to show us. I was waiting to see.
I
something
do.
Crazy. Oh, then there you go. I'm not going to answer. I'm waiting. To see.
I've been working this job for 20 years, and I've never had a student touch me ever. And I'm sorry to say that even though I've been working this job, I don't give a fuck about this job. When you touch somebody like that, you get yours.
Wow. Well,
It's about time. He didn't care about his job, so he slapped her back, and I'm glad he did. I couldn't believe it when I
he
seen
was
that.
very calm. I thought I was like, oh, well, this guy's going to be very calm. And
Hey, this one, you can't believe he made this statement. It's Mark Robertson. I gotta get him on the show. I gotta give him a
I'm
call.
gonna bring on Jack here real quick.
Just
before-
speaking, a friend of mine, Trix, ran the Ford plant. His father ran the Ford plant in, I don't know, Michigan for a little bit. Then he came to New Jersey. That's how I met him when he came to New Jersey, my friend. But his father ran a Ford plant. His father was a teacher in one of the Michigan schools and in a high school. And a fight broke out, and he went to break it up, and a kid hit him. And my friend's father just turned and slugged the kid back and hit him. He was a big kid. He's like, he was a senior, big kid. And my friend's father just turned around and hit the kid back. And the school, system, school board, whatever, they fired him. And that's when he went and worked for Ford. He says, best thing I ever did was hit a kid. He said.
So that's what I thought. That teacher, I thought he was just going to say, "You can't touch me" and everything. And then he turned around, whacked her.
Yeah,
and
wow.
I don't give a fuck about this job, and then hit her. I thought that was great.
Wow. No.
Yeah.
I'll run for Congress next, teacher.
Hello, Pastor Jack.
What's up, Jack?
Good morning,
morning,
everybody.
Jack.
Good morning. I see
Oh,
we're
you always sitting
in the
in the tree.
world of insanity.
Let's
Oh,
clown
I
her.
love what that teacher did.
Yeah. Hey, you deserve it. If you do
Hey,
it.
Jack, you can I ask you a question? I know
Sure.
Marvin lost.
Yeah.
But what do you call did you hear anything about what the hell was the woman? Oh,
I had to run.
all right, take care.
Okay.
Take care, brother.
Bye, Sean.
See ya.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
I was thinking of another
John
I know
Carroll.
what's his-
or-
no, the what do you call shit? Oh, what's the name? Rockford.
Oh, yeah. I knew he was going to lose to Mike, though. They love Mike down in Hillsborough.
Who Mike was he running against?
Kevin Steele jumped in that race from Pinellas. I'm from Pasco.
Oh, yeah.
Mike is a guy. Mike is a guy. All of the people down in Muggs, they love him.
Yeah. Well, I thought Steele had a whole bullshit happen with him and stuff.
Well, Steele is a millionaire. I mean, he was supposed to run against Jeff Holcomb here originally, and I guess him and Blaze or somebody made a deal, and he changed his district. So I was glad that he didn't make it. To be real honest with you,
I was just curious.
our elections here, George, this time, that last minute switch where they all changed chairs and positions.
Oh, yeah. Hernando County. That was the best. It was.
It was a circus. It was a circus. You know, we got bad people this time, and the Republicans, and that's not going to bode well.
Yep, well, I know that. So
I've got a lot of folks mad at me because I'm on one of the boards for the First Fernando Republican, and I don't hold my tongue. So I'm not in good favor right now, but that's life.
yep. I know what he calls. I know John was going to lose. You know.
I'm sad he did, though. He would have done a good job. He had told them for years that he wanted to run, and when they did the little changing of seats, they never even came to him. I mean, they could have at least come and said, "John, I know you like it, but this is what we're doing." They did nothing like that.
But you know that's what everybody's saying. Oh, Florida's great. Well, we got more corruption here than you could think. Shake a stick at.
Oh, even down here, it was the number of mail-in ballots that made the difference. I don't like mail-in. Vote early. That's fine. I don't like mail-in ballots. There's too many chances for people to get hold of other people's names and stuff.
Well, that's what I said when I went to that course. All the ballots that are messed up go to the bottom chute, and then they take them all, and then they vote for who they want. So,
yeah.
You know,
I mean, you got states where you're getting ballots in 2 weeks after the election. And
yeah, California's good for that.
Yeah, to me, it's way. I mean, when I ran for Congress, I felt I was supposed to do it, but when I look at it now, you really don't have a chance if the system don't want you.
Nope. A grassroots guy cannot win.
No.
No.
Very rare. I mean, I'll be honest with you, very rare.
Oh, Bobby Williams was a great. Bobby Williams was a good guy. Yep. He took. I just don't. I didn't like the trashing and stuff, but that's what I told when I was up at Citrus when they were all there.
Yeah.
Representing what's his name, and I said to them, I said, "Listen, don't trash. Tell everybody in this audience here, there were like 200 people. Tell them what you could do for Florida. Don't say what the other guy did." And everything else. It's nobody's fucking business. Just everybody that wanted to, whoever was there, just talk positive of what you could do for Florida. There's no reason to trash anybody. But it was
we were at a board meet. We were at a board meeting about candidates and stuff, and they brought up Matt the welder, and they brought up something he did when he was 18 years old. And they were all kind of chuckling about, yeah, we shouldn't vote for him. And I stepped in. I said, well, I guess you would have never voted for me for Congress. And I said, because at 18, I was, doing drugs. I was sleeping around. I said, you would never vote. And suddenly it got real quiet. And everybody professes to be Christian. Everybody professes to be Christians. I said, hey, Jesus forgave people, all the time. He bent down to the woman at the well. I mean, to the woman on the ground. We just
people became God, jury, and God,
yep.
judge and jury.
Judge, jury, yep.
Everybody should be on what they could do. That's what it is. What they could do.
Exactly.
We got everybody complains about the data centers. You got to worry about the Muslims. I mean, you got to see what up at Dearborn, what they were saying. They come in. It was all the
I was really proud of you for going up there, George. I wish in retirement I had the money to do a lot of that still, because they need to be confronted when they're out there in the streets and they're telling people you can't have bacon or you can't have a dog. I'd walk down the street.
No, they said eating bacon. They were screaming, "You don't belong here. This is our country." That's what he said. And they had an imam there dressed up in what do you call like the KKK without the hood.
Wow.
The imam that was there, and they're radicalizing and screaming.
Anybody that knows anything about history knows that they come in as the victim, and once the numbers are in their favor, they're suddenly the dominator.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what happens. They do that.
I mean, that big mufti over in the Middle East got together with Hitler during World War II.
Oh, yeah, that was big. Yeah, Hitler got together with the Muslims. It was big. What an big.
I sent Trixie a picture that I did yesterday with AI, and basically, you've got Hitler, Mussolini, Castro, And it tells you, you know, I've stopped laughing when people laugh at the ones that are getting up there now. I'm not laughing anymore because people are starting to listen to those idiots.
Yeah, well, that's the big thing. The whole thing is people. I mean, you know, my father was after what he called, you know, like Mussolini. He was the
Yeah.
underground. I told everybody the story about when my father was caught on the farm with two other Italians that were Jewish, and the Nazis caught them, and they told them to drop their pants. My father wasn't circumcised, and they shot each Jew on each side of him, killed him.
Wow.
They let my father go. So, I mean, and when my father came here, I mean, that's why I'm so in love with this country and do what I have to do, because I got, you know, I mean, I was, you know, I was with the unions and stuff like that, and it just, you know, the things that they put out and everything else, it's like unbelievable. And Italy's still on like a socialist mentality. I mean, they have, you know, they take 50%. My cousin's a big lawyer there, and I got two other cousins are doctors, and they turned around and said they take 50% of their paycheck, 50%, sometimes 60%, and then if they don't make the same amount of money, like say, suppose they made 250,000 euros for the year, they get charged 60% or 50%.
Wow.
Then what happens is the year after they only make 225, right, for the year.
Yeah.
They get still taxed on the 260,000.
Wow. My wife and I were on a cruise a couple of years back with a guy from Cuba. Well, he was from America now, but he had escaped Cuba. He wouldn't even talk about things. He was too afraid to talk now because he thought if somebody overheard the conversation, his family back in Cuba would suffer. You know, I mean, I don't know what these idiots think they're going to get. Yeah, I want to take that old that picture of the black lady going, "I got an Obama phone," and I'm gonna use AI. I'm gonna use AI and make her voice and have her say something real good.
I couldn't believe. I thought Matt Weber had a chance. I mean, I even endorsed the Matt. And,
I voted for Matt. The guy knew what he was talking about when he talked about the things that are happening in Florida. You know, Wilton Simpson has been around a long time.
Oh yeah, Wilson. I was at a Republican thing, and Wilson was dying to take a photo with me. I just ignored him. I just I went
circle away. Yeah, at election time, George, wearing my 45 vest, everybody wants pictures. You know, no, you're not going there. No. It gets me mad. Even you don't see these people for 2 years, and then suddenly when the election cycle is up, they're at every meeting and they're patting you on the back and telling you how much they respect you. It's like, no, get away from me. I'm done with it. I'm honestly pretty close to the edge with it.
You see too last night. I'll tell you that show had so much great info on it. Yeah, about the Shiites and the Sunnis. That's the problem.
Yeah,
the factions that the Shiites are the Islamic terrorists. And what happens in Saudi Arabia? They were very reluctant to help the United States against Iran because they have a big Shiite faction in there, and they're worried about losing their power because they're Sunnis and the Shiites are very rebellious. But what's happening is they've been catching them, and believe it or not, the ones that, even if it was an inside job with our government, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's that the ones that flew planes in were Shiite Muslims. The ones that did, which is fact. But,
the towers,
But it's the Shiite and the faction. But I'm personally, you follow that Quran. I'm sorry. You want it dead. So that doesn't. The Jewish are the first thing, I think me personally, I think the Jewish people should be known as a minority because there's only 16 million of them in the world.
Yep.
You know?
Well, I tell people when people ask me about all of this, I tell them go to Genesis 16, verse 11 and 12, and it talks about Ishmael's offspring. Ishmael was the concubine. You know, going to be a warring, brutish warrior all of their life, and they'll always be against their own brothers. Now, who are the brothers? Isaac, on the one side, was his brother, but the Sunni and the Shiites are on the other side, are his brothers. So it just scripture plans out. They're going to be fighting people until the day they die. Who else acts like them?
No,
What other people act like them?
No, I don't see no Christian going around cutting somebody's throat.
Now, when's the last time a Christian flew into a building in an airplane? You know, I mean, when have we lined people up and cut their heads off? You remember back in Egypt when they killed the Christians there, the Christians knelt down and they, as they cut their heads off, each Christian kept confessing Christ. They, kill me. I'm going to be with the Lord. The Christians knew you people are nut jobs. I'd rather be with the Lord anyhow.
Well, they do that. They're doing it in Africa. They're burning the churches and killing Christians there. Yeah. And they're a Muslim. They're a Shiite organization of the Boko Haram. Yeah. So and they're funded by Iran. So we got all right. What else do you want to talk about? Oh, play this tape by Mark Robinson. I can't believe he said this. This was funny.
We go again with the unruly street apes. We go. Yeah, I call them street apes because that's what they're acting like. They're acting like pure animals. That is animal-like behavior. And where it's coming from, I couldn't tell you. Who in the world is raising these people? When I was a kid, we didn't behave this way. Who is raising these people and telling them it's okay to do this? I mean, I understand why they're getting away with it because these cities have just let law and order just go by the wayside, and nobody's being punished for this action, apparently. Nobody's being made an example of, which is what should be happening. So I understand why it is happening, but I don't understand where this breed of teenager is coming from. Whose home are these little monsters coming out of? Who are the parents that are creating these little beasts? And yeah, I call them beasts because they're acting like animals. Look at them. That looks like a scene from Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. And they look like a bunch of baboons out on the Sahara somewhere fighting over a dead gazelle. It's ridiculous. And it's time to call it what it is. That is criminal activity. And the people in that video need to be identified. And those folks there in Wisconsin need to make an example out of these, not kids, need to make an example out of these criminals. And I guarantee you, you start making some severe examples out of them, throwing them in the clink, punishing them, making sure that they feel it, yeah, some of this garbage will stop. But again, the question is, where are these people coming from and who's raising them? Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And what do you think the solution is? And also in the comments, tell me what kind of homes do you think that these people are coming from and why are they behaving like this? I'm eager to hear this.
Let me tell you about him. He was a lieutenant governor. He was great.
Yeah.
I mean, for the second, we did security for him when he did that Second Amendment thing at that hearings at the town, the council, and then he started speaking at certain places. So we became very good friends, you know, and he was a lieutenant governor, and in fact, the governor didn't want to do something, or he did it anyway. So he got the National Guard. So he went to the National Guard and told him, "You go rescue these people, and I'll take the heat for it." And then what happened? He was going to run for governor, and
they lied about him.
Yeah, they lied about him, and that's what happened. Yep. And that's why the rumors are destroyed. And he's a good guy, you know. He's a loving father, Christian, and all this other stuff.
Well, that's their latest tactic. They just lie about you, and you can't get it cleared up by the time the election takes place, and you lose. And then afterwards, everybody finds out it was all a lie. I think those people in that picture, I think the parents of those kids should be held accountable too. For all of the talk.
He said the word apes. That was the fucking thing.
For all of the talk, yeah. You know, when they're always blaming, the white man is the greatest fear nonsense. 99% of the violence against black on black is, I mean, that's where it comes from. They do it to each other.
Yep.
They were stabbing each other at the Indiana State Fair over here.
Well, when I was a kid, I lived in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which borders North New Jersey, which is highly Afro-American. And we would go to the roller skating rink. And if you did not leave that rink as a big group at the end of the night, you got jumped on the way home. I mean, it went with the program. Tonight I'm going roller skating, and then I'm going to get jumped on the way home. I mean, Lyndon Johnson, when he brought in his New Deal, all it did was lead to the point where women would kick the husbands out, keep having babies and get more money. And he created that.
And he was proud of it too.
Yeah.
He said, what did he say? Something about I'll keep him in the Democratic Party forever or something like that. Yep. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but it was basically that.
No, but you're right. That's what he said. And Joe Biden keeping him on the plantation. I mean, those aren't Republican terms. Those are Democrat terms.
Yeah, didn't Biden say, "I'll put you"? The Republican Party's going to put y'all back in chains.
They're going to put y'all back in chains.
Yeah.
Well, did you see? Nixon said the same thing. She was saying that we go to be chains, and she kept on. That's what she kept on saying about the chains, and what he called Jim Crow. And Jim Crow was a Democrat.
Jim Crow, they were all Democrat laws. The Democrats voted against them having freedom. They voted against them having voting rights. It's like
McConaughey did a great movie called "The Freedom of Jones." It was. And he showed how they, he organized the African Americans to vote Republican and stuff like that, believe it or not. And they had the two jars, and he saw all the African Americans, all the slaves. I mean, well, they were freed at the time, but then they were putting the little names in the little jar on one side, and the Democrats had the other jar. And also it was time to count, and they only had 3 names in the Republican jar, and the whole jar of the Democrats was packed.
Yeah.
And he showed him how to vote. He showed him how to shoot. And he was a Confederate soldier. It was a really good movie. Patty, I agree with you 100%, but that's how people are. They just...
Well, Frederick Douglass was black, and he was a Republican. He strongly Republican. All you got to do is follow history. But if you don't follow history and you just read what people say, you're going to buy their lie. That's why the NSA right now, or whatever it is, DSA, that's why they're excelling.
Yep. You guys, Florida was really bad. I was answering some of the stuff. Florida was really bad with Trump. There were a lot of Trump haters, and there's still Trump haters here. There's a lot of people in Florida, and there's other states too that have the TDS system. I mean, people, I'm not gonna be MAGA anymore because the gas is up, and everybody forgets when Biden was president, it was $5.50 a gallon. I mean, people come out with statements and stuff like this. It's just ridiculous. Either you do what you have to do, or and the whole thing is, people are saying because Byron won, they're not going to vote for Byron. So good. Now you make Jolly and what happens is Jolly's going to get elected, and then everybody's going to blame Byron. Because he was the choice. That's why. No, it's because people. You got to stick together. You got to keep the state red. Even if the guy's a rhino, it doesn't matter. The problem is we need the numbers, and you need the control. And the reason why Trump picked Byron was very loyal to Trump. That was the only reason. He was behind and everything. And he fought against masks and everything. There's a lot of stuff that he did positive. I knew him a long time. I wouldn't, Jack, I don't endorse anybody. Even if they're friends. That's how I am. And what do you call? I didn't endorse Ashley Moody either. And I did a lot of work for her. I did a lot of security for her. I took some people down for her. And she saw me. She was with me. She was at me at a dinner. She came right over to me. Ashley.
I won't lie. I voted for Chris Gleason.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yep. That's what I did too. And I endorsed Chris.
Yeah.
I endorsed Chris Gleason. I endorsed Matt DeWelder. I endorsed Chris Gleason. Rocky Rodford, I did. The guy Ramos, I don't know if he won. That kid Angel Ramos.
I didn't see. I don't know for sure.
There was a lot of stuff, but it's just.
I hate to say it, but with Marvin Bateman, I honestly felt that there was some Republican racists involved in that. I mean, the hatred they spewed at him, the lies. I mean, every time
they spent the millions of dollars last time. They
Yeah,
spent millions
yeah.
of dollars on him.
Well, the flyers they put out, George. Every time they put a flyer out, I'd go to Grok and check it out, and every flyer was a lie. And one of them was where they said he got 25% of his money from builders. What happened was Steve Champion gave him a check for $1,000 because Marvin didn't take a lot of money. That amounted to 25%. But Steve's not a builder. Steve was a gun store owner, and he had some land. He has some land that you can build, but it isn't built on yet.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of things. Love Christ. Trump's not Susie decides to. Well, Susie suggests stuff, but Trump makes the decision. But some of them, the decisions are made. I mean, some of them are. But the problem is Trump has to worry about the loyalty, and he respects loyalty. I had a thing, and you know how close I was with the DeSantis and everything else, the whole thing and everything else. And I told the father, turned around. I mean, there's a statement out now that, Brian Donalds was a Democrat, now he's a Republican, and Jolly was a Republican, now he's a Democrat.
Yeah, so was Reagan and Trump. So was Reagan and Trump.
Yeah.
And they're the best two presidents.
But that doesn't count. That don't count. So
the
whole thing is, I turned around and I said to the father, I said, look, my loyalty is to Trump. That's what the pact says. If your son wins the primary, I'll endorse him. If any one of these people, if Biden didn't win, whoever won, I would have backed him up 100%. That's how it should be. I'm not.
Yeah, and it's got to be, because you can't tell me that a Democrat is better than a Republican. I don't like pinching my nose and voting, but at the same time, I'm not going to vote for one of these whack jobs on the left.
Yeah. You got to be for the country, and we are a republic. That's what we are. We're not a democracy. We're not a whole bunch of stuff. But the whole thing is, you can't. It's not. But sometimes it's blind loyalty. No, it's not blind loyalty. Listen, I went up to Dearborn, Michigan, because I love this country. I don't give a fuck, Democrat or Republican. I was on a bike for 5.5 hours. I did, what's his name? I went to the ride of Pennsylvania. I went through 3 fucking storms. I mean, give me a fucking break. Loyalty is because for this country. I was raised like that. My father came from Italy, and he showed me how important it is to be patriotic to this country, and that's how I am. And
when you were talking before about what happened to your father over there and stuff, when my dad fought in World War II. They began in North Africa. They ended up fighting their way to Sicily and then to Italy. And I'm thinking, my dad and millions of others fought to give them that freedom, and yet in our country we're ready to turn it all over. People like your dad suffered on that. How many people suffered that didn't have to suffer? Mussolini was crazy.
My opinion about what 9/11. I mean, everybody sends me things about sometimes with the plane being going there and all this bullshit and everything else. I was on those fucking floors, and there were no bombs. Right away, Israel, and they were a bunch of.
Well, Joe, you know Joe Wolf. Do you know Joe Wolf from the Wellington? Joe will tell you. Joe was a New York City cop at the time, and when they talk about building 7-0, it had to be an implosion. Joe explained they stored like thousands of gallons of fuel in that building.
Yes, because I did that building. The generators they had they had the CIA, FBI in that building, and all the trading information, everything else. And I would say good possibility that building was taken down. But we had there was all tankers in the basement, then there was all tankers on the 15th floor because they had the backup generators. If they lost power, that's how it was. When the Trade Center got hit the first time, right? They decided when they built 7 World Trade that all the loading and everything had to go through 7 World Trade. They had those big spikes that came up. They thought you were messed up. I mean, was in those buildings. I mean, it just drives me crazy. It pisses me the fuck off too. When everybody comes out with these theories, it's I don't. I just
when
don't.
when you have videos of the planes hitting the towers, and somebody tries to tell you no, there were no planes, it's like you're a special kind of stupid. I mean,
I was there. I saw the
visible.
second plane hit the building. What was the one?
Well, you remember when? Remember when CBS was doing that special on Probies in the fire department, and they were checking a manhole cover where they had a gas smell, and the planes went overhead, and they moved the cameras up, and you watched the plane hit.
Yeah,
you know, people will believe whatever they want to believe, and they feed into. And unfortunately, I'm not excited. Sometimes it's by our side. People that believe things that simply aren't true. There's a lot of bad things that happen, but we need to make sure they really happen before we start blowing them up.
There were 17 coffee wagons around the whole Trade Center.
And they were gone.
Owned by Muslims, and they had the Ayatollah Khomeini's picture in every one of the coffee wagons because it was all the money maker and everything else. And when I got there in the morning, I walked in there. Where the fuck is the wagon? I wanted the coffee. I had to go to Krispy Kreme, which I hate fucking Krispy Kreme coffee. So that pissed me off for the morning. Half of the cabs weren't there. It looked like a holiday. Yep. Right? And then what happened?
Should have been the first notice.
Do you think they knew? Yeah, they knew. Our government knew.
Well, I mean, you know it as well as I do. They train the pilots here in Florida.
Yeah. The guy asked him, "Oh, we're going to teach you how to fly and land." No, he said, "I just want to learn how to fly."
Yeah. I don't need to land. I'm going to hit a building.
Unbelievable. And people are still dying from that thing.
And yet in New York, 25 years later, they voted in a Muslim mayor. I mean, you tell me the epitome of stupid.
Oh yeah, well,
on September 11th, we'll do the memorial over there by the VFW.
Yeah, I'm going to where Flight 93 crashed. I was invited there. Yeah, I was invited.
Very good, very good. Yeah, that's.
I mean, the patches up. Yeah,
that's an American story. Let's roll. Let's take these turkeys down.
You go to and everybody can go to Pennsylvania. There's the museum there, 9/11 museum, and you got to go there. They actually have the tapes of the pilots and the passenger and everything else that you hear, and it's just unbelievable what they did. Whether they said what it was, people are saying, "Oh, the jets came into the air." And listen, when I was crossing that bridge, the Williamsburg Bridge, I heard the jets come over. I said, "Oh man, they're gonna take out these fucking bridges." That's what I said. I said, "I can't believe it." And nobody fucking talked on that bridge. Everybody was like robots, just walk across. And then when I got to the other side of the bridge, they had a van with explosives in it.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't hear all this shit. You didn't hear all this stuff.
There's a whole lot that never. Yeah, there's a whole lot that never came out.
So I wanted.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We need a lighter subject.
I'm sorry, Tracy.
I'll tell you. I'll give you one. I'll put my head where it is right now, and I noticed before when my head is there, it looks like I have two rabbit ears sticking out of the top of my head. So I started moving over so I didn't look so dumb.
Oh, you're talking about the what else?
With
mirrors?
The mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with the mirrors.
It looks like a church in the back. It looks like the stained glass in the back.
Nah, my wife lets them, so they're up. Yeah, actually.
Well, how about something light? You guys want to see something light?
Yeah, put something funny up.
Remember Ossoff, the asshole, and Trump called him Pee Wee Herman the other day? This is good.
Hey guys, my name is John Ossoff. I look like Pee Wee Herman. Nobody gives a shit about me, and I'm a real piece of shit. Anyway, Democrats suck, and Michelle Obama's probably a man. Later, losers.
I think that Pee Wee Herman's going to stick with him forever.
I made a AI meme the other day of saying now Michelle Obama can play in the WNBA.
Yeah, and she don't have to declare either way.
No, she's good to go. Yeah.
Yeah, Trump's been on a roll though. He was toying with reporters the other day, and I grabbed this one just because I just love his sense of humor.
With what? What did they threaten them with? PP guns? Or
well, that's
they don't have much left to threaten.
My question for you is: are you?
I don't know. I mean, what did they? You made a statement. What did they threaten them with? I don't know. Tell me, how did they threaten them?
Well, all I know is that they threatened him, sir.
What does that mean?
Fair enough.
He said something nasty.
Is the government in touch with these companies? Are you helping to backstop them?
You don't even know what the threat was. What was the threat? I haven't heard it. What was the threat? Did they say they're going to blow them up? They're going to hit them. They're not. You know what they're not going to do? They're not going to hit them with a nuclear weapon.
He said, "What are they going to hit him with? BB guns?" He's just playing with them at this point. I think he's having a good time doing it too.
He's a chess player, and they're checkers.
Yeah, well, the reporters lately have just been real shits, you know. Ask it like that. What did they say? Something about how Trump likes to do, he just wants to fly with that Natalie and everything. They're just doing character assassination instead of asking any kind of question that has any substance to it.
You hear her story? She was dying, and Trump approved that experimental. You could take the experimental medicine, and she told Trump, she adored him because gave him a second chance at life, and then now everybody, because she's every place, it's like just like they just it's too much. I mean, even here, every place, every state is the same bullshit and everything else. The politics. This year was the worst politics I ever saw in my fucking life. This was the worst.
Yeah, this year was ugly.
A long time. And Jack, you know that. I've been in this business for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year was ugly from the beginning to the end. And November, it won't be any better, but I hated it this year because it was in our own party here.
Yeah.
We're back on the negatives.
RFK had some good comments. He did an interview with what's his name? Oh shoot, you got Dr. Phil about elections and everything. Since you guys are talking about elections, I'll play it. I had it for yesterday, but it's pretty good.
Do you have concerns about the integrity of this election coming up?
I do. Democrats today are very angry at anybody who questions the election integrity. He shouldn't be. In 2001, every Democrat believed the election was stolen from Al Gore, by the Bush administration. In 2004, I wrote an award-winning article for Rolling Stones talking about the theft of the 2004 election. Nobody called me unpatriotic. It's a fact. We need to be responsible civically, and everybody knows any machine can be hacked. What safeguards do we have in place to make sure that's what we should be talking about, instead of getting angry at people for saying, elections can be hacked. Let's talk about how we fix the system. We put a man on the moon. We have ATM machines on every block that never get hacked. We have, you came from Las Vegas this morning. That entire city is built on machines that can count right and never make mistakes and never give you too much money back. And so we can do it. And you need paper ballots. You need something to check the election. And that's what we should be talking about, rather than did this one get hacked or did that one.
I liked his point about the Las Vegas thing. I never thought of that. But it makes a really good point. If they can make the machines in Vegas and everything unhackable, it shows you that ours are done on purpose and it was done with intent.
We don't want it to be that secure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why when I saw that clip, I was like, I had never thought of that. And that makes perfect sense. And that argument, you can use that argument all the time about why our machines are corruptible and hackable and everything, because if Vegas can do it on such a large scale, why can't we?
I love the other day they asked Oprah about Oz and about Dr. Phil, like you created two big guys for the Republicans. She was mad.
Oh, Oprah, she's going downhill fast. The last couple times I seen him where she couldn't even hardly walk. They had somebody helping her get out of it. So you wonder if she, what's wrong with her?
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. You don't see her so much. She's not as prominent as she used to be.
I don't know if George is sleeping or if he's reading.
No, I'm reading stuff. I'm writing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys ready for a game?
Sure.
Since it's Thursday. Okay, we're gonna play Who Am I? So I'll give you 3 clues to who am I, and then we'll see if anybody gets it. The first clue, I was in Gunsmoke. The second clue, I played football, college football. And the third clue is I was married to Judy Carn. Let's see if anybody gets it. So I'll give you the clues again. Who am I? And one is I was on the TV show Gunsmoke. I was married to Judy Carn, and I played college football.
I think I know on that one.
So I'll start watching and see.
I'll look for
if anybody comes up with it. Okay, lady, says Michael Landon. Red says Burt Reynolds.
That was interesting.
USN, Dennis Weaver.
I don't even see anything.
Pat, Burt Reynolds. RD, Burt Reynolds. FL Trump. No, Denise says Ken Curtis. Florida Trump says Little Joe.
I'm going to go with the
WTF.
initials MD.
One Green. Okay, Mad says Burt Reynolds.
Skunk says WTF, good morning.
Good
morning, Skunk.
Let's see. See if it's slowing down. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 9 answers so far.
I thought somebody was going to say Matt Dillon.
Oh, well, I guess that's it.
Yep.
Okay, I'll give you the answer tomorrow. We'll see who won. I like that game, Who Am I? It's a little bit different than trivia, but our trivia was getting kind of old, and everybody was guessing the answer right off the bat. So they weren't hard enough, I think. But what do you got down here, George? What's this? Let me put it up.
Oh, this came out. Check this one out. This was actually done, believe it or not. Somebody actually did this. I had to put a laugh to that one. If I saw this before I went to Dearborn, I would have printed them out and given them out.
But you know, he'll get put in jail, and everybody else will get free. Two different systems, one for them and one for us.
Yeah. Look, do you see this on CNN? This was kind of funny too.
Cops on January 6th. Meanwhile, this should be the lead story, is clearly suffering from massive mental decline. He is out of his mind with all of the show and tell procedures that go on in the Oval Office. 2 days ago, he gave 3 press conferences in a row. And if you don't think he has dementia, let's just discuss the time that when he was on the campaign trail that he tried to perform oral sex on a microphone. If Joe Biden did this,
I hope this is what Democrats do next year.
ER.
If this is the Democratic strategy, congratulations, America. You've already reelected Republican majorities as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, because Trump's approval is in the low 30s. It's in the low 30s right now.
Coming up next for us.
Doesn't it look like the evil in her soul is starting to show up on her face?
She's
I'd like to see him be the new press secretary.
Who's that?
Scott Jennings.
Scott Jennings, yeah.
Scott Jennings.
Yeah. At least I don't know why he stays with that cesspool CNN. It must be a really good paycheck, is about all I can say.
I think he enjoys making them look stupid.
Yeah.
Whenever he talks, and he has the courage to say what needs to be said.
Yeah. Well, every time I've seen stuff that he does, he's able to jump right on them. You know, he always has a good answer, and he's so quick, you know, to pick up. And that's what I like. He almost reminds me of the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, because she's like that too. You know?
The other one I like is the guy who does the charts on the wall, and he points out how good, you know, and they let him do it on the show, and they look stupid every time they do.
Yeah.
You gotta make
I
it
think
funny. You know?
Huh?
I said you gotta admit that it's funny when he starts going to, you know, go all around the thing and with the shows that he does.
Well, he almost makes Abby Phillips cry when he does it on CNN, because every time he does it to her, you can see her face. She starts to look mortified because he catches her every single time. He just shows how stupid she is constantly.
Yeah. Well, you know, and the thing is, honestly, I counseled for 38 years. What you see in them literally would be, in any other standard, would be considered a mental illness. When you see Trump derangement, I mean, it's genuinely real. I mean, there are people killing people because of it. I mean, they're insane.
We're still waiting for McConnell.
Yeah.
I think his wife put him to sleep permanently.
Yeah.
She hasn't moved to China.
No yawning, I'll start.
Mitch McConnell is the walking dead. There's no way that he's competent, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you would put out the video and end all the controversy over everything, especially when you got a Democratic governor that's from your state calling for proof of life and everything else, and you still don't do it. Then there's got to be a reason why, and the only reason that I could think of is this: mentally he's gone.
Yeah, well, when you look at the last couple months before, when he would stand at the podium and then just freeze, like that's a health issue, and you can't run from that. I mean, they'd have to come over and whisper in his ear and lead him off. That was like Joe Biden with the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, follow the white rabbit. And that was a double and then I don't know how you want to say that, but yeah, because the conspiracy was always follow the white rabbit, and Joe Biden literally followed the white rabbit. That's what was so ironic about that one. I like that one.
That guy that made that speech I shared yesterday, the Crusader. I'm sorry, White Rabbit. I've been up since 3:30 this morning. I had things.
No, I just yawn when people yawn.
Effing brain. Very upset about statements that are made.
Yeah.
Oh, they're back. I got pissed off. There were no bikers there. There were bikers there. There were no bikers. There were a whole bunch of bikers. I got a video of the bikers coming in. So, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Well, what they did with the one J6 when they were throwing bricks at him and trying to pull him out of the car. You know, I mean, if that had been in reverse, if it had been a Muslim and they were doing it to a Muslim, or even a black person, they were doing it, you would have seen all kinds of stuff on the news. But it was a conservative, so we don't.
You know what the thing is? They are, like I said, even in Temple Terrace here, the young ones are nasty. They are the young ones are nasty, and they're brainwashed with that ideology that they're it, their religion is it, and we are the ones. And this is, you got them young, and you see them with the machine guns already as kids and everything else. I mean.
Well, when they're little kids, like at pre-K level, they've got them doing skits where they've got guns and they're killing Jews. I mean, they're taught from when you and I were kids playing stickball. They're shooting.
These kids don't want to play. Look, I mean, now that the kids are gamers and stuff like that, they got them working for the air traffic controllers now.
Yeah.
Of course, they could, the sight and controlling is very, very quick and stuff. But
yeah, I'd be nervous about a Muslim at air
traffic. Grassley! Oh my God! Please, Grassley's running. That guy is unbelievable. I just can't take it. I just can't take these. They should be the term limit should be done, and that's it. These people in there too long. I mean.
If there were good candidates following, I'd be happy this year, because you take some of the names that won't be back next year, Pelosi and all of them. but they replaced them with crazier people.
You think?
Yeah.
I tell you, what's his name? I got to get his recording and play it. Pastor Lorenzo. You know, he was on my bike. He blessed our bikes, me and Alan and stuff. So he's a good guy. And he made a speech to them at the mayor. The mayor of their is a Muslim, and he called them all out. You know confess about. He goes, you could stop confessing about Sharia law because everyone probably says, well, I know you're not. You know the guy that was the man Muslim. He said a great speech. They use the black people terribly in their board and stuff to get where they are. It was unbelievable. I didn't know that until I found out from.
Well, they just took over where Johnson left off. They convinced them that the conservative is the evil man taking everything from them.
Yep.
I watched the other day. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying no. Go ahead. Tell me what you're saying.
I was going to say I watched 13 Hours again the other day. The movie from Benghazi. You know, in the end, they explained that they let a Muslim cleric do the prayer over the people that the Americans were killed, and he was cursing America in their language, and they let him do it.
Yeah. You don't know what the hell you don't know what the hell they're saying unless you got interpreters and stuff like that. I mean, it's unbelievable. They just hate. Listen, you're an infidel. They either become who you are. It's in the Quran. It's put up all the time. They're about them, and just like I said, it doesn't stop. It just I still have the book burning to do. So it should be.
They basically right now have raised up a whole army of Obamas. All of these latest ones that come along are got to be Soros money or somebody else's money like that. And you know, I think even AOC the other day was backing away. You know, talking about woke one.
Woke one, woke two, woke, you know.
Well, they look to see what was too much for the American people. Now they're backing away. I mean, the one lady who was talking about canceling Thanksgiving, you know, and then suddenly Thanksgiving's her favorite holiday. Like, wait a minute, which is it?
Yeah, well, the whole thing is the Democrats started using the DSAs, the Democratic Socialist America.
Yep.
They changed their name to Democratic Social America because they really are communists. And we have a law of 1954 that does not allow communists in doing parties in this country. But they changed their name. Right.
Trevor Loudon is going to talk at Sharon Crosby. He's going to talk at Sharon Crosby's meeting this month, and he's an expert on the.
Oh, he's unbelievable. We had him on the show, Jack. We had him on the show.
Couple times.
You remember in 60? No, it's 22 when I ran for Congress. He opened up the event talking, and then endorsed me, and then shot over to Plant City. George did the pledge at that. But Trevor can talk about those in government that they couldn't even pass.
And he talked about this a long time ago. He said exactly what's going to happen right now. Yep. He said that then.
Yep.
He said it. He said it.
You know, we're slow to learn. Joseph McCarthy back in 1954 was right. And what they did is what they do to everybody. They start making people laugh at you and make you think you're a fool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they discredit you. And then here we are, you know, 3-4 generations later, and everything that he said is coming to pass.
Yeah, the Democrats were using also the Muslim. And then what happens is the Muslims are using the Democrats. And they will infiltrate that. All of a sudden, the Muslim, like that guy, the Dr. Abdul there, all of a sudden likes gay people. They teach you how to fly, gay people in those. Are you kidding me?
That doctor.
Okay. Great.
I was just going to say, you brought up Abdul. They found out he's been smurfing with his campaign donations and everything too, and funneling money back in his own paycheck into an LLC named after himself that does consulting. And he did it within 8 days of leaving his job as the director of health in Wayne County. And so now they're finding out all kinds of stuff, and they're bringing the dirt out now, but they should have done it before even the primary. And I don't know why they waited this long to do it, unless there was a setup.
Yeah, well, they want to show that, what do you call him? Rogers will win. They'll beat him. That's what the big is. They bring the dirt out now. You don't want You don't want him. Yeah, but you don't want him to. You don't want the person he was running against the primary to win. It was better that he won.
Yeah, but he should be under the DOJ should be investigating that. I don't know if it got turned over to the DOJ, but they should.
Well, it's got to be now that now the DOJ, the Attorney General was approved. You're going to see a lot of things happening now because they had to wait. They couldn't push a lot of stuff, which people are not too keen on understanding how everything's supposed to work. But Trump was waiting for the Attorney General to get approved so then they can do what they have to do about prosecuting people, number one. Number two, Toon did it again, stopping Trump from 75 recess appointments that he's going to do because he put the Senate in session. So this is what, and people do not understand, it's not Trump. It's the people that are fighting against Trump. But everybody, I'm not MAGA no more, and I'm not this no more. The Supreme Court stopped the tariffs. That was the biggest, best thing for the economy for the United States. In 1913 that's how we survived. There was no taxes. It was on tariffs. And that's what Trump was trying to do. And all of a sudden you got the Supreme Court fight because some asshole Democrat brings the challenge up, and then the Supreme Court says, yeah, right. I'm talking billions, trillions of dollars were coming in. You got to be kidding me. It's like everything he does, they fight against him. But people blame the intelligence of people, which I can't believe people do this. They blame Trump. You can't blame Trump if you don't have the people behind him. That's why he did what he did this time. He picked the people of his cabinet to work for him. Not when the first time he ran, the deep state picked every piece of shit that was out there that was against him.
When you don't understand what's really going on, you look at what you see with your eyes alone, and that's what they do. And they'll see the gas price go up, it's Trump's fault. They'll see this or that, it's Trump's fault. They were paying $7, $8 in California for gas under Joe Biden. They were paying $5 here in Florida. It just doesn't. Yeah.
That's the problem. I mean, it does hurt. It is hurting everybody. But the whole thing is Trump called out the oil companies. You got to take it easy with the charging the money. Like I put a post. Somebody started screaming about the money, and all of a sudden, they remember I used to tell everybody they used to have those charts on the gas pumps. How much the federal government taxing, the state tax, the city
local tax, county tax.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things on there.
The only thing one thing I do appreciate right now, though, when he makes his statement, he said, "I'm not being controlled by the election." Like everybody was, he's going to do this and that because the election. He's trying to get something done. He's trying to. It may not be the perfect plan, but he's trying to get it done.
They come out with AIPAC. They come out with Netanyahu's puppy, and in Israel they say the same thing that. Netanyahu is Trump's puppy. I mean, it's just like, and about AIPAC, every congressman, Democrat, Republican, take money from AIPAC. Look it up. Yeah. Because they come out with one statement, they say, Byron took money from me. So did everybody else, except one person I know didn't, was Matt Gaetz. That was the only one that didn't take any money from AIPAC. But no, because they brought it up on the whole thing on Facebook about, he took money from AIPAC, and he only took couple of $100,000, not millions like everybody else did. So,
but it's all talking points. It's all talking points.
Yeah.
It's what they can say. They know people are too lazy to do the research.
No. The worst thing is the podcasts, like Alex Jones. He think everybody's got sources. What sources? I listen to General Flynn, and he tells me. And the whole thing is the money, argument's sake, like all the money, people don't notice, the money we give to Israel, like they want to stop it, 80%, I think it's 80 or 85% of that money is coming back to America to buy weapons and military stuff and everything else. That was the deal about them getting the money. But no, it's a couple of $100 billion that they get that we're helping out Israel. It's a defense thing. And we're making money because they're coming back and buying our supplies. I mean, they buy F-35s, everything else like that. I mean, they change the components inside, but constantly.
Alex Jones, I think he does a hit of blotter acid, and then those are his those are his sources.
Did you see the shit coming out about him? Oh my God. They're coming out. They're saying he's done. His show's going to be shut down real shortly. Millie Weaver, that used to work for him, is coming out and saying all kinds of crazy stuff. His wife was saying his ex-wife, that he's there goes my earbud, a severe alcoholic. And that's half the reason why he does all this stuff. But the other thing that came out about it was that Sandy Hook stuff with him was a total setup to wipe him out and bankrupt him and shut him up and everything. And I believe that. But the other stuff, I don't know what to think about Alex Jones, because sometimes he was doing things good for our side years ago, and then he flipped.
He was a big Trump supporter. Then all of a sudden,
at one point.
So was Tucker.
I think they go to be the extreme view. They go for the hits. You know, they're making money off how many people are following, and I think a lot of that is with Tucker. Tucker is getting his money from Qatar now, and a lot of what he says is contrary to things he said earlier in his career.
You know, I used to think Jones was Jones was intelligence used by both sides, Israel and the United States. I really did. Honest to God, I'm admitting that was my stupid opinion. You know, that's what I thought, you know, and then as time went by and I started seeing, he started getting a little crazier and saying some, you know, pretty controversial stuff. Then I just thought he had a nut loose, you know, but now I don't even know what to think anymore, really, about him. He's flip-flopped so much.
I even watched when Roger Stone goes off on Bannon, you know, people that you always used to listen to, and now it's like, who's crazy, who's real.
Well, yeah, Bannon is going around saying that we're going to lose the midterms and everything. I don't think so. I don't. And he's saying that we're going to get wiped out. And I just saw that. And I haven't watched Bannon in a couple of years because I got so tired of listening to him yell all the time. You know, but now I heard that.
To be honest, Trixie, I think the midterms are in God's hands. And I think America will lean back toward God and pray and actually seek his face. I think we'll see the Republicans hold them. I mean, we're on the tipping point right now, but with as crazy as Democrats are right now, you got to believe there's got to be some moderate Democrats that are going to vote Republican.
I agree that I think a lot of Democrats are going to come out for the Republicans. Number one.
I made a meme the other day, and it said, you know, if the Democratic Socialists prevail, it won't be the cause of them. It'll be the silence of the moderate Republican. You know, the moderate Republican, some are right now. Although you got James Carville, who is crazier than a loon too, but I mean, at least he's calling them out. Some of them are calling them out.
Yeah, but what are we? They treat us like we're alcoholics and we have to hit rock bottom before we realize, you know, that we have a problem. And that's the point that, you know, if you use that as an analogy, we'll lose the midterm if that's how it's gonna go.
If that's the approach, yeah.
The problem is they come out with the news and they turn around. Well, the midterms, and all the time when there's a Republican president, the midterm they go Democrat, and it keeps on going. And that's what happens. Everybody listens to all the shit, and then what happens is then people don't go out and vote, and that's the whole setup. The whole setup. I mean, it just doesn't stop.
I just think I'm just to the point where, like you say, you're sick of it. I don't say that very often, but I'm sick of the inaction on the GOP. That's what I'm really sick about, because when we have a majority, well, not a big majority or anything, but we got the chains of power. And then we got people who aren't doing what we want. And that's the absolute most frustrating thing, because that's when you start feeling like your vote don't count. And when you start feeling like that, that's when you become complacent. And that's when our country's going to lose. You know,
you want to put up those two pictures, please? Please. This was a good message, the first one.
I love that one. Yeah, I saw that the other day. I turned to my wife and showed her that.
They have no idea.
Well, you know, the Japanese emperor had the sense to know how many guns there were in the United States. You know, behind every blade of grass.
There's a gun. Yeah, there's a rifle. Yep. Yeah. He says we have woken up a sleeping giant, right?
Yep.
And
you know, you've got so many veterans. You got so many veterans right now that are fed up. That if something were to break out that way,
I got a set. What is it? An 83-year-old Marine, and he says, "George, come and get me, and I'll fight right next to you." I said,
"Yep."
His name is Alan Green, great guy.
And I take him over. I take him over any of these 20-year-old guys holding the gun sideways and shoot.
Yeah. Oh, when they shoot.
I don't know if you don't remember. If you remember, there was a time in New York where a black guy was trying to kill another black guy right on the street, and there were two little kids on the ground. The guy who was trying to shoot, and he's shooting directly at the three of them, and he didn't hit any of them. And we're talking about like from 4 foot away. And I'll take my chances with a guy like that anytime.
It's just tough, and it's a shame. I mean, everybody better carry. I mean, you know.
Yep.
I was up there. I was airborne. I carried. So
George, when I was still actively preaching, I had a shoulder harness and the gun right and thing. Somebody walked in the church starting to shoot, they were getting shot. I wouldn't want to do it, but I mean, you know, you're not going to come into the church and shoot people.
Yep.
We had a security team that was set all the way down. We even had it down. We took the training and we had it down that even if the guy comes in and shoots, the moment he's starting to change his clip, 5 people hit him all at once. Like you don't let this guy keep going.
Don't stop. Yeah. Hey, it's better be judged by 12 than carried by 6, as they say.
You got it. Well, you know, there was a day to think of having to defend yourself in church was unheard of. Nowadays, every church has security.
I gotta check that out. Inside Myself said only 10% of the people in Florida voted. I think that's
it was 27 here in Hernando County.
Yeah. I wonder how many.
That's still not good.
60, what do you got? 64,000 registered voters in Hernando County. I think people just discuss it. Everybody sees what they see, and that's what happens.
Well, you know, and I said this the other day, you drive by these voting stations and there are so many signs that you couldn't even see them if you wanted to. I said to one of the guys running, I said, you should recommend that they have it where you can only have one sign per candidate at the entrance going in, because then you could actually see what you're looking at.
Oh, I went crazy with the RPOF, the 2020 election. I was driving around Florida. I was in... it was on the East Coast, by the Cape and stuff like that. They had Biden signs. I'm talking about not one. I'm talking about hundreds going up and down both sides of the road where you go to the voting station, and they had one Trump sign.
Yeah.
And I called up. I said, the RPOF. I said, you people kidding me or what? Seriously?
I sometimes wonder whose side they're on, to be real honest with you, George.
Oh, please. They just don't.
That's like I said, there's a lot of people.
Very anti-Trump, I'll tell you right now.
Big time.
You remember they tried to take him off the ballot, right? They tried to take Trump off of the ballot.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Hey, what is it?
There's a lot of people in that group that don't like me because I say what's true.
Me too.
Yeah. No. I was going to say we're both probably in the same status around here, George.
Oh, they get sick when they see me. They get nervous a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how I'm going to react. I got 2 hands and 2 legs.
Trixie, when I ran in 22, George will know who I'm talking about. There was a person who told me if I had George do the Pledge of Allegiance, they were going to blow the whole event up. They were going to turn it into a circus. They didn't want George to do. I said, have at it. Take your best shot. Do what you do. George is doing the pledge.
Yeah, well, George can be a little controversial, huh?
No, but him and George and I go back years. I mean, that's
loyalty.
I'm controversial to the country of this USA. That's who I'm here as a patriot, and I'll fight till my last breath to save this country. I got 10 grandchildren. Some of them don't even give a shit about me, but that's what I'm fighting for.
But you're still fighting for them. Yep.
Yep. Doesn't matter.
Truth is controversial.
Yep. And that's what the problem is.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because in a time of this kind of so much deceit, to say the truth is very controversial.
It's controversial, yeah.
And there's some kind of quote about that, but I can't remember who said it either.
No, that's. I was trying to think. That's when I said that. That's what
I was paraphrasing. Yeah. And thank you, Daryl. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thanks for the information inside myself. Yeah, 25% sounds more like it, but talking about who knows, what knows.
Yeah.
This is the controversial is the thing is we have to go out and vote, and we have to back the winner. I noticed I did it, and there's proof when the guy ran. What's his name? The dermatologist there. When he ran, right, the whole thing else, I endorsed the other candidate, and I saw him at a dinner, and I said to him, "You won the primary." I said, "I'm going to endorse you." And then people went crazy. Oh, how could you endorse a rhino? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
We're at a point where we need Republicans.
Yeah, that's all. Yep.
We need America First people in there is what we really need.
Yeah, well, that's in the long and short. That's definitely.
Yeah.
And I bet any amount of money that one of the recess appointments for Trump was General Flynn because he went to Washington. And then
I sure hope so, George, because I've wanted it all along.
No, it ain't gonna happen because the Tune made the Senate in session. There ain't gonna be no pick.
Well, and the general said though a long time back, he said he can do more right now in the shadows.
Oh yeah, he advises a lot. He does advise a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, if he has to be appointed, he has to battle the idiots in Washington.
I was with him at the dinner, which I say this all the time. I was with him at the dinner. And Trump was there, and he told Mike, he said, "Hey, Mike, get ready." And I was right next to him. I said, "Mike," I said, "General Flynn, did you hear what he said?" He said, "Give me a year and a half, and I'll get him back."
Yep.
I mean, but it's just, I mean,
I think he wanted a chance to assess where things were going.
Well,
they beat him up the first time.
I know he was. We were with him when the bombing hit. About that nuclear shit in Iran, and I know they were having conversations, General Flynn and Trump. So,
yeah, you remember when I wrote the song about General Flynn.
Yeah, he loved it. Yeah.
He basically called it out and said, "You people tried to kill him. You couldn't kill him, and he's still alive, and he's coming back."
Mm-hmm. Yep, he loved that song.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. A lot of people some people don't like him, but that's the way it is. Because when you speak to true people, don't like you.
Listen, he had the courage to say what needed to be said when it needed to be said.
Oh yeah.
Obama tried to crush him before he ever had a chance.
Yeah, he told Trump. He said, "Should I watch the guy from North Korea?" No, he said, "You should watch Joe." They were all afraid of him because he had so much information.
He knew where the bodies were buried.
Yeah. He had the receipts, as they say.
Yeah. Yep.
I was with him when he told me stories. When I was with him when he's on his bowls of his ass when he came out, and we were doing security for him. We don't charge for security. We can't say the word security because we've got to be bonded.
I hear you.
But we did what we had to do for Flynn. And when he told me stories, I could not believe this country did something to him. Yeah. And when you watch the movie, you can't believe a government would do that to a guy that served both parties, not just one, but both parties. And what he did,
he didn't fit their narrative. They have an agenda.
They wanted to lie.
They want a puppet president. They want a figurehead president, and they call the shots.
Yeah, well, McConnell's still alive.
Yeah, but did you see, we talk about polls all the time, too, about polls being for the stupid people or to set the narrative. And did you see Karen Bass put out a fake poll?
Oh,
that was way ahead and everything, and then turned around and said, "Oh, it was a social experiment." And she had nothing to do with it.
That's because she didn't know it was a social experiment. And the people who did it came out and said, no, that's not real. This is what we did. I don't believe she beat the Republican guy out there in the primary. I don't.
Oh, Pat, yeah, yeah.
I just thought that was a big point to bring up because we say it all on the show all the time. Don't believe the polls because they always have Trump losing when he's actually winning. They do this all the time, and it's to set the narrative and discourage you from voting, thinking you don't have your vote isn't going to matter and everything. And this, whoever put that poll up, I give them a little bit of credit because it just proved everything that the Republicans have been saying all along. Do not listen to polls because they're all bullshit.
My listen to your conscience. Listen to what you think, what you believe, and do it. Act on it. If I vote based on what everybody else thinks, I'm not voting for what I believe.
Listen, Jack, if we don't realize how God blessed this country and how the Constitution was written, look how we advanced for 250 years compared to all these other countries that have been around for billions and billions of years.
They don't when they call us an exceptional nation and they don't understand it. That exceptional is because God's hand has been on this country. There's a book, The Light and the Glory, by Peter Marshall, and he, from Columbus on out. I mean, Columbus had come to the point where the other captains of the ships pulled up next to him and said, "The men are going to mutiny. We have to turn back." And he asked for a few more days. On the third day that they did it, the guy in a crow's nest cried out, "Land ho!" I mean, they were ready to throw him over the side. That's how close we were. Saratoga, New York. The British were coming down from Boston. They were coming up from Philadelphia. A heavy fog descended on them. The American troops slipped out. When the fog lifted, the British were facing each other. There are like endless stories about what God did intervene in our country.
Yep, agree. 100%.
Well, even when Washington crossed the Delaware, there were 3 groups that crossed. 2 were supposed to block other troops from coming. They couldn't get through the ice. The only one who made it over was one with Washington himself, and they beat the Hessian army, and that turned the whole war around. I mean, I love history. That's my thing.
Hey, Jack, look what I don't know if you can see what I just posted, but somebody put a thing about how many registered voters in Florida.
13,499.
Yeah. So look what Republican Party of Florida, 5,600,000, and this is what the Republicans always brag about. They got 1.6 million people more than the Democrats. But look at the minor parties, which is 500,000, and then not the independents, non-party affiliated, is over 3 million, 3.3 million.
I worry we should be making a strong appeal to independents right now. There should be a major push for independents right now because they're the ones who could turn the tide against us.
Yeah.
If Jolly wins, we're in trouble.
Well, they'll blame whoever. I mean, now with the virus,
they'll blame Byron. Yeah. We
told you you shouldn't have ran because no, you got to look at who voted. And the thing is that the one that's going to turn the election are the NPAs. That's who's going to turn the election.
Exactly.
And most likely, I think a lot of Democrats are going to wind up voting for. They're not going to vote for Jolly. Not if they want, the sex changes and everything else. Look what happened. He could be a moderate and everything else. And look what happened to Virginia. And look what happened to Jersey. Look what the shit they pulled. So.
Well, one of the things that Trevor Loudon talks about is a group that went into Virginia and actually turned Virginia blue, and they're in Florida now trying to do the same thing. Yeah.
Somebody donated $50 for that.
Yeah, that was Daryl. I said thank you, Daryl.
Oh, thank you, Daryl. And I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir. These people need all the help they can get, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, I think that was really nice of Daryl. He asked what?
Don't send a check because look how much they take like 70% Rumble out of that money.
Yeah.
But thank you anyway. Appreciate it.
Yeah, he asked in the chat if I'd get it or we get it. And I said no, we get it. But yeah. I was just saying the only poll I trust is the one I dance on. I don't trust any polls. I don't. Yeah, I know it is a Frisky Friday, but I just threw that in there for myself. We've had a heavy show today.
Because you hardly weigh anything. That's why. Any person that goes on a poll is like the poll come down. You could dance on a clothes hanger the way you are.
Yeah, clothes hanger. Yeah, I could be hanging around somewhere.
her and Dana Perino.
Oh, yeah.
I even think Dana Perino might even be taller than me. I'm not sure. I have to look and see how tall she is. The older you get, the shorter you get. I don't like it. But that was really nice, Daryl. Thank you.
You get shorter and wider.
Well, you know,
I haven't gotten wider. I just get shorter.
No, I'm not picking on you for that.
No, I know you weren't. I know you weren't.
What
Everybody's we're going longer today because Mike's not here. If anybody hasn't,
Yeah, hello, Mike.
I know
Yeah,
he's gone, so we
good.
don't have to worry about it.
It was good the other day when he jumped on the show. I had not seen him on before.
He's doing that every day. He comes on at about 10 to quarter to, and then tells what's coming up on his show and everything. And we kind of like meshed him a little bit, and it's kind of fun because we usually rate his show at 10. So
very good, very good. Yeah, he's got a lot of good info.
Yeah.
So did we get any thumbs down today? I think somebody don't like me.
No, Denise said we hadn't got any thumbs down today, and I said, well, so then our lurker, our stalker or whatever, is slacking today.
You hear this? Listen to this. Byron has raised $111 million, the most of any non-incumbent candidate for governor in history, which is bullshit. Ron DeSantis raised $150 million from big donors, except same thing like Byron did. Byron won 50 out of the 67 counties. Byron received a total of 810,675 votes. Byron received 49,000 more votes than David Jolly received. Byron's 23-point victory is the largest GOP gubernatorial primary win in 20 years. Byron won Miami-Dade County by 41 points, whereas Jolly only won 37. Over 420,000 more Republicans than Democrats voted for the primary, which still isn't a lot because the whole thing is we have to make sure that everybody came out like they did for Trump.
Yeah,
they're pissed off.
I was relieved the night of the election when Byron came out and spoke, and he said that Fishback had already called him and told him he'd be behind him. I worried about what Fishback was going to do because
Fishback came out with most of that negative shit anyway, all the stuff against Byron.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it. Well,
but it doesn't. The thing is, the candidates, no matter what. I mean, everybody's telling me it's politics. It doesn't matter. Why? I mean, Fishback met with CARE. They met with the Muslim imams. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't say that during the candidates, but there was even with Jay Collins, there was stuff. There was stuff with everybody. Bobby Williams was for the migrant workers about helping them to get citizenship because he owns a lot of farms. Guys, he's very helpful during the time of the hurricanes and stuff like that. He helped, as we did. But the whole thing is, say what you do. Don't say
what you're going to do. Yeah, what you've done that's good and what you're going to do.
Just stop. Everybody just stop.
We need ideas. We need weights out of the mess we're in. We don't need you to tell me how bad the other guy was when he was in the third grade.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. Emma he said she was. Yeah, I used to be. I still got my draft card. I was 5'9" when I got drafted, and then now I was down like 5'7", so I lost 2 inches.
I just found out Dana Perino's taller than me.
See that?
Before
I'm really depressed.
Bye, Pat.
Before I measure myself, I go on my inverted board, hang upside down, so that my body stretches out. And
Well,
then
that's what happened. I went to the chiropractor one time, and he put me on that machine that pulls you apart.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I measured myself. I was 5'8.5".
all the vertebrae they reinflate and you gain a little height.
But anyway.
The only good thing about being smaller though is like you can hide more places if somebody breaks into your house that they wouldn't.
You're harder to shoot too.
Yeah. Hey, listen, remember I used platform shoes many years ago. Remember the platform shoes?
With leisure suits.
You're the same age as me, Jack. Close to him.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
I
don't like to admit it.
Listen, I broke the heel on my shoe, right? I was in Italy. So now in Italy, they never saw these shoes, like the platform shoes. So the shoemaker turns around and tells me, he says, he's telling me in Italian, George, what do you use these shoes for? I said, well, I'm going up to the Mount of Vesuvius tomorrow. And these are special mounting shoes to climb mountains. I told him,
George.
George is squatting. All right, that's good. R.D. Bull, you make me very happy. That's what I can tell you. You come out with good stuff all the time. I have to say. He's a Vietnam vet, and I always tell him, welcome home.
Beautiful.
Good guy. Thanks again for your service, R.D. Bull, as always, and welcome home.
Amen. It's all that served.
Yeah. Good guy. Anyway.
We got a lot of good people in our chat. A lot of smart people too. Very smart.
I only wish I was skilled enough to be able to watch the show and listen and look at what they type at the same time. I'm over there trying to look back and forth.
I got another computer set up on the side, so I've got the chat like up huge on the side, so I can look sideways and do that, and then do this stuff here. But then if I'm traveling or something, then I'm doing it on the phone, and then I can't because it's just way too small.
Yeah, I apologize.
You get used to it.
Week. I apologize for last week, by the way. Google did some kind of update, and they wouldn't let my camera come on. So I could either have the camera or the mic, but I couldn't have them both. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here. I've got 2 different laptops trying to do it. Later on, I did some research and found out they made a change. I mean, it was frustrating because I'm thinking I told them I'd be on.
I felt sorry for you because you could see how upset you were. You were frustrated and you were just like trying everything and nothing was working. And we know you know what you're doing because you do it all the time.
Jack,
so it wasn't you.
Jack, not for anything, but she was hysterical laughing. I was laughing a little bit because we're watching you how frustrated you're getting.
Sorry. I was laughing though.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, I didn't even.
I laugh at misfortune sometimes, and it looks like I'm laughing because I think it's funny, but sometimes it's because it's like a nervous thing.
And
I knew you were nervous after doing that.
When I was in Catholic school in the 8th grade, the principal was coming down the sidewalk, and it was icy, and she started like this up in the air, the feet. She crashed down. And I couldn't stop laughing, and they were ready to throw me out of school. I was like, that's always been my downfall. If I see something that's funny, I try to make sure they're not hurt. But there are some things. I mean, there's videos on here that I watch that are funny, and I'm sitting there trying not to laugh, thinking that's serious. But I'm like you. I think it's a nervous habit more than anything.
Yeah, unless it's my sister, and then it's real. Then I am laughing, because it is.
Well, my kids will laugh if I watch something with a midget in it. I feel bad. I'm for smaller people, but there's something about watching midgets.
Well, that's why when I used to be. Oh yeah, that's funny. They got the bars there with the midget wrestling. It's funny. But I used to go in the elevators when I was working, and there used to be Mexicans in there, and I used to say, I'm glad you guys are here. The guys look at me like, really? Half of them were illegal. I said, because I'm cool with you guys. That's why I was happy. When I had my guys, they would go like, the guys that used to work for me, they just shake their fucking head. I mean, I used to come out with stuff.
I want to buy one of those gadgets that can interpret languages.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
I hate when you go somewhere and there's 8 or 9, people of a different origin, and they're all looking at you and laughing.
Loud. When they speak, they're so loud. It's unbelievable how loud they got to speak. What the fuck why you got to talk so loud for? Take it easy.
Wait. If my daughter could tell you that, my next door neighbor is Hispanic, and whenever they throw a party, like 2, 3 in the morning, the music is blasting out.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, you got to do something with them. It's like, I don't know what to do. They're going to be there tomorrow too.
Yeah. Well, everybody have a great day. See you tomorrow for Frisky Friday.
And thank you guys again. Appreciate it. Always love to be on.
Yeah, anytime, Jack. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good day.
Oh, yeah, we love having you on, especially when you can work your equipment.
You're a glutton for punishment.
All right,
I'm gonna check out.
All right.
You playing the song?
All right, take care, brother. I'll talk to you. Keep in touch.
Yep, we'll do.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Sign out.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow for Frisky Friday. It'll be fun. Wind up the week.
Here we go. Straw hats, flip flops, coolers and brews.
Bye.